Good morning, Colorado. It's October 21st, and I've got a gas leak down there somewhere under this manufactured home, and I'm gonna go find it. I'll talk to you in a bit. So there's the first leak. Very subtle. You can see that big bubble that just popped is where it's leaking. Whoops. And so we'll have to pull that fitting apart, possibly replace the 90. Luckily, it's the pipe that feeds the house and goes straight outside, so I don't have to back off the whole line to get it. But we'll get her fixed and show you the next one. Leak number 2. Significantly worse than the other one. You can rapidly see this one losing pressure. There's our main line running all the way back. And just past that white column down there, the third column down is where the first leak was. And this is where the main line comes in. This line up high goes to the water heater. And this line down here is track pipe going through that scuttle right there to the furnace. The guys that installed this did a great job of strapping up their pipe. And so for tonight, we're going to disconnect the water line, the water heater line, and get it plugged off so they can get back in heat. And I'll be back very soon to replace the line from this point over to the water heater. And then I will probably, at the furnace, this pipe, they put a 6-inch nipple on the end of it and popped it through the floor, so it's very loose. You can lift it up and down. I will probably replace this line while I'm at it with another piece of track pipe and use a floor flange so it's a little bit more solid. All right, let's get to work. So, 3 important developments in our little gas repair job. I found the light switch, and the first leak is down there by that light on the wall, which does make it a little bit nicer to work down here, because now my flashlight isn't the only source of light. But the second is I backed out the long run of pipe from that fitting, and I don't know who put it together, but but it's very loose. I mean, I'm not even trying that hard to move it that much. Still think we're going to redo the gas line and that gas line, because that needs to get out of the dirt, number 1, and I'll show you how sloppy it is in the mechanical room. And then I'll show you where the shutoff is for the water heater and how inaccessible it is. And I'm going to redo it and move it. So for right now, we're going to get a plug in there. They'll have the furnace for the night. We've already accommodated them for hot water. This has been a situation that's been being dealt with for several days. Due to a problem with the propane tank, blew out the gas valves in both appliances. And so we ordered those gas valves in, got them repaired, and then we found out that the house was not holding pressure, and now we know why. That's just unbelievable. That's been under here like that for that long. Okay, well, back to work. So this is the top side of our yellow track pipe. As you can see, that's nice and secure. So we're going to pull that and put a proper floor flange for mounting the track pipe and get this house back in some heat. And so here's the furnace line. Again, very well supported. I mean, that ground's not going anywhere. It really isn't. And just to make sure, let's run some ducting over top of it. Here's our new line coming in. Haven't punched it through the floor yet. Got to remove the old line first. But, yeah, way to go, guys. I know it's not a cozy, comfy crawl space, but really there are much worse crawl spaces to deal with. But, you know, this is the job, so do your job. This should be supported, I think, every 5 feet. I'm going to double check that. Doesn't really matter, because I'll put 2 or 3 hangers on it between here and there, and we'll go from there. So now we've got our new line installed. I only had to put 2 hangers on it on this side, and we jump under the wall there. And here we are on the other side where we split for the furnace and the water heater. And I got a hanger there and a hanger there just before we jump through that scuttle. I need to go get some tape to tape up these joints because they are in a crawl space, so they are considered exposed to weather per an inspector. Even though they're in the crawl space, they are still not considered indoors. When it's indoors, you can have the exposed stainless, but according to the inspectors at Regional Building Department, in a crawl space or outdoors, this has to be protected. The brass and the stainless has to be covered, which is why I didn't cut this rubber off, because I will go ahead and tape that back in place